Blessings and love, my people. What's good? We back at it. We about to get into a very important topic. It's a controversial topic, but we're gonna see why God really flooded the earth. And a subtopic is gonna be Watchers, Nephilim, and demons. I will say that again: Watchers, Nephilim, and demons. Yeah, it's about to get real. So today we're gonna be coming out of Genesis 6. We're gonna start at verse 1. And I'm reading out the ESV, you know what I mean, just in case people want to follow along. So we're going to start in the beginning. So it says, when man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw the daughters of men were attractive. So let's start right there. So most people going to think the sons of God are men. But when we dig deeper, we see that the sons of God in the Hebrew means Ben Elohim. So these are not just regular men. What they really were angels. And we also see this term sons of God also in Job 1:6, also in Job 2:1, when Satan is meeting with God with angels around, which was called the sons of God in the heavenly council, discussing Job. We also see this in Job 38, verse 7, before humans even existed, and they were discussing about the sons of God celebrating. You know what I mean? So we can see just from these verses in the Old Testament that these sons of God were not humans, they were angelic beings. And that explains the rest of this verse. So let's continue. So it says, the sons of God saw the daughters of men and were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose. Then the Lord said, my spirit shall not abide in men forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. And it says, the Nephilim, which were giants, were on the earth in those days. And also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children. These were the mighty men who were old, and the men of renown. So we can see from these angelic beings and these women, they birthed something called Nephilim beings, which were giants, And these watchers that came down, they also made it with other things like animals and all kind of things. It was just a corrupt, evil thing that was going on earth. And we could read that in the book of Enoch, verses 6 through 10. Chapters 6 through 10. When the watchers, they also taught humans forbidden knowledge, like warfare, like witchcraft and sorcery, like astrology, divination, cosmetics and seduction, herbology, and ways to abort children. So we see that these fallen angels came down and did the exact opposite of what God intended them to do. And we could also find out they were punished for this. It's in the Bible. So if we go to 2 Peter verses 2 and 4, we can see that God wasn't pleased with the actions of these creatures. So in Second Peter verses 2 and 4, it reads, for if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but cast them into the hell and committed them to chains of gloomy darkness to be kept until the day of judgment. So these fallen angels are right now in chains, waiting for their judgment, waiting for the demise. We also see that in the book of Jude. So if we go to Jude 1 and 6, we see the same comparison. We see, and it says, and the angels who did not stay within their own position of authority. So their position of authority was in heaven with God, but left their proper dwelling, which was in heaven, their proper dwelling, he has kept in eternal change until gloomy darkness until the judgment of the great day. So that's another verse confirming what happened with these fallen angels and what God did when he punished them. So that's why God flooded the earth, because the earth was corrupted now. These creatures wasn't God's original creatures. These creatures were now angelic, which was spirits, beings, mixed with humans, which are soul and body. So when God flooded the earth, this is how demons came. Because once God flooded the earth, their bodies did die as a human, but their spirits stayed alive because their spirits wasn't meant for heaven or hell, because they wasn't fully angelic angels, which was spirits, and they wasn't fully human, which was body and soul. So they couldn't be judged the same way. So right now, these are the demons that are roaming the earth right now in today's days. They are disembodied spirits. Disembodied spirits. So these demons are, which are now causing all the havoc on the earth. They're not physical beings, but spiritual beings, and they seek to inhabit people or places. And we can find that also in the Bible, such as verses like Matthew 12:43. We can also see we can cast these demons out, and we see that in Luke 10:17. So we have authority over these demons, these demonic spirits, which are reaping havoc. And they're trying to destroy humans because of their faith. And yeah, it gets deep in this Bible, man. Blessings, love, my people.
Jesus, Son of the Most High God, what do you want with me? I beg you, don't punish me.
What is your name?
Legion. Lord, we beg you, do not send us into the abyss. Let us enter into the herd of swine.